All right, everybody. What's up? How's it going? This is Justin Bozeman, and this is another quick edition of the Uncle Tom Extravaganza post show. And we usually come on here maybe if need be for about 5 to 10 minutes after every show just to wind down because we get amped up during the uh, podcast of Uncle Tom's Extravaganza, and we also get to talk about some stuff that maybe we didn't talk about as much in detail. But if you missed the show, one of the biggest things that we talked about was we talked about the double standard of the media. And I also took the liberty to bring up something that nobody wants to talk about, which, of course, happens to be this document that you see on your screen, which is from a court case that has been filed in the state of Michigan, where they want to do a forensic audit because they have evidence, they say, and they actually show this evidence that there were some things that happened with the voting machines in Michigan as we're reading the affidavit and document. I want you to see it on the screen because YouTube likes to try to take stuff down if you say that there's anybody accusing their state of any wrongdoing during the 2020 election. But that is, in fact, what this state document says here that was filed in a circuit court. All right. So you can go and you can look this up for yourself and you can find this state document and it shows actually the evidence that they have that they believe needs to be shown to the world and to the rest of the state and to the rest of the United States that this happened here and they want to prevent it from happening again. And so I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes as I show you this because I want you to go look it up for yourself and look it up for yourself and search for it on something like Yahoo because they're not going to try to bring up this court document. If you type it in Google, you can't really find it in Google. You got to type it in Yahoo or something of that nature in order to bring it up because I have the strange, sneaking suspicion that they don't want people to see this.
Do you really think people are really interested in facts and in truth for the most part?
Nothing,
You think they really want to get to the bottom? Most people want to get to the bottom of this. Probably a lot of people are really tired of hearing about it, and they just want this to go away. But I can honestly say that for those people, they're not really looking at the big picture in this because it's not going to go away just like that. This is something that's very serious that's going to affect our country for years if we don't get this together.
I agree. I mean, I agree with you 1,000%. The question is, like you said, do people not care enough? And I think one reason that people don't care enough is because it didn't happen to their candidate. See,
right. Well, you're right about that.
It didn't happen to who they wanted to win because
right.
If this were to happen, and I ask people this, and I don't think people give me a genuine answer. If the same thing happened in 2012 or 2008 to Barack Obama, what would the response be? And the response would be
great outrage.
It would be great outrage. They would be demanding that number one, that the process for voting and elections is changed, which just happened, and they're mad about. And meanwhile, my thing is, if you're mad, why should you be mad if you believe, as Google always tells me, that Joe Biden got the most presidential votes for any presidential candidate in history? He's the most popular candidate ever. According to what they say, you should have no problem getting those.
Meanwhile, he can't get 12 cars at a drive-in for his rallies.
I mean, that's what they say. And so, I mean, if they, for me personally, I'm like, if you think that and if you believe that and if that's true, the way that Google and YouTube has tried to tell me that it is and that it shouldn't be questioned, then they should have no problem getting another 80 million or 82 million to go vote for him again next time, since that happened this time, right? So I mean, my next question, and we didn't talk about this on the show, was going to be, what do you think so far of this Derek Chauvin trial? As I put him up on the screen, what do you think so far about this trial? Do you believe that he is given or going to be given a fair trial? Is he getting a fair trial? Is this result already in the bag? Like, what do you think is going on here?
I really haven't been keeping up with the trial, but I know he's not gonna get a fair trial in Minneapolis, and probably not in a lot of places, but I think that from what I have seen, the evidence that I have looked at and have kind of examined myself, the man should probably go free.
Uh-oh.
He should probably go. He's probably gonna get off. Cause my main thing is the fact that Derek Floyd, and I'm not,
Or
putting this
George
on,
Floyd.
but
Yeah.
yeah, George Floyd. I'm sorry, George Floyd. Uh, he had fentanyl in his system, and this is not the first time that this has happened.
It's
And
correct.
if you know anything about fentanyl, it's dangerous.
Yes.
And so,
Definitely.
coupled with that, and when I found out the fact that the knee on the neck is not just something that uh, this officer did, even though I think it was excessive force, and I didn't think he needed to do it. That's just me. But when I saw the fact that that's how they trained them in Minneapolis, that's a part of their police training. Then again, coupled with that and the fentanyl and his past, Floyd's past history, I say that this man should go free. That's what I'm saying.
Now, let me ask you something. What do you think that they're preparing for o- when, if and when that happens? Because do you, I think that the trial was rigged in some way.
Oh yeah.
I think they're going to
Oh
make
yeah.
sure that he gets some sort of ruling against him.
Right.
I don't know what
Right.
that'll be, but I do believe that they're going to make sure that he gets some sort of ruling against him. But I don't know what that'll be though. So, uh, I guess the question is, why do black people feel the need to riot and burn down our stuff when stuff like this doesn't go the way that we think it should?
Because they're operating by a spirit. They're allowing that spirit to take them there. The spirit of lawlessness, a riotous spirit. Uh, Sometimes black people are so caught up in their emotions, it doesn't take much to set them off. And because when you do this, when you allow that to happen, then the results of it is what? Your community is burned down.
That is
You
correct.
know,
That is
I
correct.
mean, they're getting a little sophisticated now, starting to go out in other neighborhoods, but for the most part, your own community is suffers the worst part of it. And to me, it's just stupid. I mean, here we go back again. I make a joke of it all the time that one of the devil's most potent weapons is a stupid, dumb demon. He'll send you a stupid, dumb demon, and you'll do stupid, dumb things, and you'll be like, "Why the heck did I do that?" You
You know
know?
what? And the thing is that people don't, that we haven't talked about, George Floyd's family just got $27 million, and my question is who's getting that money? Who's getting that money?
And they
How much
probably
are the
they probably
lawyers
have
getting?
they they probably having fits over it. Who's gonna get what? I can just imagine how that's gonna work out, and what's gonna be done with it, and how long is it gonna last, unless they got some wisdom in their family somewhere.
Am I
You
wrong
know?
to say that I was never as outraged, you know, over the death of George Floyd as everybody else was? I thought it was wrong. I thought he shouldn't have died, but I wasn't like ready to take up arms and burn down my community as a result, because I always feel like, what level of responsibility do did George Floyd have on what happened? And why is it that there has
Exactly.
been no responsibility put on him for not complying? Why is it that we don't tell people to comply? Why is it that compliance or non-compliance for us is never an issue? Like
You're
whenever
right.
we don't comply, why is it that we never why is it that we never hear people say, you know what, this went down in a way that I didn't like, but you know what? The guy should have complied. I haven't heard people say that really on the mainstream, except for a few
And
people.
you're not because of the race baiters out there that wanna make an issue of this. This became an issue because of race baiters,
Wow.
and this is all designed around, to, get Donald Trump out of office and to create all kinda havoc and to create basically, I think they were trying to create a race war because
Oh
the
yeah.
outcome of it is
Oh
now
yeah.
we're hearing now we're huh?
I said, oh yeah, for sure. For
Because
sure.
now we're hearing more about racism than we have in years,
It
and,
apparently it's
to
the
paint
biggest
and to
problem
paint
in
this guy.
America. It's the biggest problem
Yeah,
in America today.
right, and to paint this guy as a some kinda saint and to elevate this man, I mean, it just goes to show how backward some people are,
You know
and,
what? And that's
it
and
it's
that's
a shame.
and that's so true because you know what? We'll riot in the streets for George Floyd, but yet nobody riots over the little boys and girls who get shot in the middle of the hood, in the
There
middle
you go.
of gun
There
battles.
you go.
Nobody's rioting over that.
There you
Nobody's
go.
marching over that. There's no Black Lives Matter protesting over that. There's nobody there
Right.
telling the other Negroes who just took a life, hey man, Black Lives Matter, man. But the
Right.
only time that you show up is when a man with this skin complexion happens to kill someone who is black. I got a problem with that. To me, that goes back to something that we were talking about on the show today, which is pure hypocrisy. It's a double standard, and it's a double standard that I'm tired of. Like I'm tired of people having this double standard. It's one standard for them, and it's another standard for somebody else. And if somebody else
And
doesn't meet
we've
that
gotten to the
standard,
place where people just
fine.
don't care. They just don't care.
I
They just
guess
gonna do it anyway.
I guess
And
that's yeah.
if the call comes from somebody like us with the same skin color, with the call comes to tell people to think critically and
Mhm.
to examine all of the data and the information, then guess what? Then we're Uncle Toms, we're sellouts and all the above.
Yeah, we're coons and all that other good stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff.
So
So,
I mean that's pretty much next week I'm looking forward to talking more about this trial because I think the fact that so many people have made it as if black people should be invested in this trial like they are. I think that in and of itself is a trap that was set up by the left and by the race baiters to create something that really shouldn't even be. And next week,
oh,
I
you
think
know it is.
I think on the
You know
show,
it is.
I think I'm going to talk about something that people don't want to talk about, which is compliance. Why is it why isn't it okay for you to just comply? Why
There
is
you
it
go.
why is it taught now or expected by black men to not comply with the police? And why do we expect that when we don't comply that nothing is going to happen? These are all just random questions that I have in my head that nobody really asks and nobody really takes the time to really uh, dig deeper in it. But I don't know. That's what I wanted to talk about real quick on the post show. In addition to showing the affidavit, because I was one of the people who didn't believe, and I'm still not quite trusting the conservatives. But I'm glad to see that there are some people who are fighting the fight and making sure that these devils get exposed for what happened on November 3rd. I do want some clarity and I do want there to be a assurance of there being free and secure elections moving forward. And I don't believe that the real conservatives, especially Trump supporters, are going to support conservative candidates until they do that. So
I agree.
I'm glad I was able to show that document. I don't think that you have any final thoughts. I don't think that I have any
Nope.
final thoughts. I'm looking forward to next week, and I'm looking forward to talking more about this Officer Derek Chauvin trial. I'm also going to play some clips from some things that Joe Biden has said, such as no amendment is absolute.
Oh my God.
And so I'm going to play some clips
It's
of
like,
that
what
next
the
week.
heck?
And nobody cares. It just is brushed over. The mainstream media just brushes it over. So I'm looking forward to that. So in the meantime, I want you guys to go up and look on this court case and find it for yourself, and to look up the evidence that is put there, whether it be the subpoenas or the testimonies or the expertise of the drawings of the forensic experts. I want you to go look that up, and next week we'll be able to probably have even more information on it as it comes out. So until next time, I'm glad everybody was able to join me this time on my channel, and I'm going to post some more stuff fairly soon. I had this issue where I was trying to separate my channel and they didn't let me, and they still not trying to let me separate my channel. So I'm gonna have to put all my stuff on one channel, which I didn't want to do because it's different content, it's different things, but they for some reason want me to put all of the same content on the same channel, whether it's gaming, politics, religion, uh, you know, the manosphere. They want me to put all that stuff on the same channel, which I wasn't trying to do, but it looks like I'm gonna have to. So you guys may get some very innovative content in the very near future. Just stay tuned for it. So until next time, this is Justin Bowes.